Boy everyone, March is here. Welcome to the channel. And for today's video, of course, we'll be unboxing this sneaker and I'll be giving you my first impression on the sneaker. But first of all, we'll be discussing my journey. Of course, you've seen it in my thumbnail that I had COVID. I'm positive and today this is my 30th day of quarantine. So I think I'm well now. I'm just observing the quarantine rule so that everyone around me will be safe. So let's discuss that first. Initially, I was kind of hesitant if I will share it with you, my COVID experience, or I will tell you guys, but after reflecting, I know I could help out some of you. Maybe you have this virus right now. Hopefully, you won't have them in the future, or maybe you have some loved ones who have COVID. So I just want to share with you my personal experience, what I went through, what I took, and how I got well. First off, background is I got this virus from a shoot that I had. If in case you don't know yet, I'm a photographer by profession, and during one of my shoots, the subject that I took a photo of, she didn't know she had the virus, and like any other subject, they have to remove their mask for me to shoot them. 4 out of 5 of us got infected with the virus because I think the main reason is we stayed in a small room for around 30 minutes or so to an hour because we were waiting for the food, and we just stayed there because we didn't know she had the virus. So the office was enclosed. It didn't have the proper ventilation. It was air conditioned. So I think that's how I contracted COVID from that moment. First thing that I felt with this virus, I thought it was just flu because first signs was body aches. I had muscle pains all around my lower back to my hamstring. So at first I thought it was just from my overplaying and working out. And I didn't rest that much. I didn't sleep that well. So I thought it was the reason and I was having a flu. The second symptom that I had was a little bit of clogged nose, but just a little bit. And I really thought it was just normal flu, and I had diarrhea. And of course, those are also signs of influenza or trancazo here. That's what we call here in the Philippines. So I thought I had that. So I didn't think that I had COVID because before that I tested negative in the COVID test. I took the PCR test and I was negative in that test. So I just thought it was influenza. And the next symptom that I had and that convinced me that I had COVID was the absence of smell and taste. So I think it was on my 3rd day that I completely lost my sense of smell and sense of taste. So after that, I knew I had COVID. But in terms of fever, I just had slight fever. I didn't get the high fever. And in terms of respiratory symptoms, I had dry cough and I'm still having it right now, but it's nothing too serious. I didn't have any shortness of breath. But when I'm talking for a longer period, I would cough every now and then. So you would ask me what are the things that I did was first, of course, I took BioFlu. I had lots of lozenges for my dry cough. I had melatonin because a lot of my friends who had COVID recommended me to take melatonin. Of course, multivitamins, vitamin C. I took around 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C plus multivitamins. And another thing that I took was some antibiotic just for safety so that no bacteria will form around my lungs or any part of me. So I took some antibiotics too, but if you're not too sure about that, consult your doctor if you would take antibiotics. And another medicine that really helped me out is I think the Lianhua. It's a traditional Chinese medicine. My parents gave it to me, so I also took that. I think it helped me out a lot during my recovery because after that, I felt really good after drinking that. And the main things that I felt during my recovery was, of course, the body ache. It lasted for 2 to 3 days. Diarrhea for around 2 days. But after that, I was okay. My sense of smell and sense of taste is still not 100%. Sense of smell, I think I'm just back at around 10% because I really have a very strong sense of smell. I could really smell small things, but right now, all I can smell are menthol and a vanilla candle. That's kind of weird. And occasionally I could smell my perfume, but coffee beans, which has a strong pungent smell, I couldn't smell it until now. So it kind of sucks because I really love the smell of coffee. And as for my sense of taste, I would say it's around 20% still. I could taste sweetness, saltiness, spiciness, bitter, but I couldn't identify what kind of food that is. Like for example, last night I tried eating ice cream. I could taste the sweetness of the ice cream, but I couldn't identify if it was a vanilla chocolate ice cream. And for sourness, I'm eating pomelo, orange. I could taste the sourness of the fruit, but I could not identify which fruit if I did the blind test. So those really suck. I think those two things are what really sucks in my COVID journey because I really like smelling things, tasting things. I really like to eat. So I couldn't taste my food. So that's really a bummer. And I want to taste food again, guys. And so it's really hard. And saltiness like adobo. I could taste the saltiness in the adobo, but if I covered my eyes, I wouldn't know it was adobo. So what I'm doing now is drinking a lot of water, drinking multivitamins, and of course vitamin C. I stopped drinking BioFlu already because I don't have fever anymore. I'm still eating lots of pomelo, oranges, fruits, banana. I'm taking some lozenges for my dry cough. So those are some things that I wanted to share with you on my COVID journey. So I hope I can help some of you guys out from my COVID journey. And now, let's move from the COVID journey to the unboxing. So let's go. What I'm holding is the Leaning Wow or Way of Wade All City 9. So this is actually the takedown version of the signature sneaker of Dwayne Wade, which is the Wow 9. And this one cost 140 US dollars or around 7,000 pesos. So I got this from Amazon. And for shipping, you have to add additional 1,000 pesos. So the total for the Wow All City 9 is around 8,000 pesos if you want to grab it. Because here in the Philippines, there's currently no distributor for the Leaning line. And I hope that they will be bringing this in soon and be aggressive about it because there's really some dope Leaning sneakers that are out now in the market. So let's talk about first the upper of the All City 9. The upper features mesh upper all throughout the sneaker with some synthetic leather around the midfoot part, laterally and medially, which acts as wings that are part of the lace loops around the midfoot part of the sneaker that will help in the lockdown. And on the tip and the forefoot of the sneaker features some fusing. The colorway that I got was a team no sleep, so it's a half and half, so white for daytime and for the black it's nighttime. And it has a TNS, which means team no sleep around the forefoot part, and also behind the tongue you can see TNS there. It is really a good looking colorway for the All City 9. The Team No Sleep colorway has been a staple colorway for the Way of Wade line. It has from the signature line down to the All City, which is usually a split from white, black, and some blue hints around the sneaker and some pink, which you can find around the middle part of the outsole of the sneaker. Now going back to the materials of the All City 9, the tongue is foam back mesh. It is perforated. It is stitched on the footbed so that it won't move that quickly, which is kind of nice. You can also find lots of fusing around the lace loops of the sneaker, which will add additional durability on the lace loops. And moving on to the back part of the All City 9, it is a low-cut sneaker. It has lots of paddings around the ankle part or Achilles part. And as for the Achilles pillows, it's very well padded, although it's not too thick, but it's quite nice. And while I was wearing it here inside my room, I didn't experience any heel slippage, so the heel containment seems to be nice on the All City 9. And one thing that I really like about the All City 9 is of course the insole. The insole is quite nice. It's made out of a very nice material. You can see on one side it's AC9, so for All City 9. And of course on top of that you can see to Team No Sleep. So the meaning of Team No Sleep is the continuing grinding 24/7. So that's non-stop grinding or hustling. So that's what Team No Sleep means. And as for the heel part of the sneaker, there's an internal heel plate for heel containment. And there's an additional external heel cup or heel accent for the All City. And what's nice about it is if you move the rubber, which is kind of soft, you can see the Way of Wade logo behind it, which I think is kind of cool. Now let's move on to the midsole or cushion setup of the All City 9. The All City 9 features a full-length cloud foam, which I was kind of impressed or shocked because basing on my last experience on an All City Way of Wade sneaker, I think I tried the All City 7 when I was in Beijing and I wasn't too impressed, or I was disappointed actually with the cushion setup of the All City 7. I was supposed to buy it and try it out, but upon trying it in store, the cushion was really hard. So I ended up not buying it at all. But with this one, the full-length cloud cushion that you can find here on the All City 9 is really impressive. I would say initial impression, first wear, impact protection, the heel is really nice. There's a lot of impact protection. And as for the forefoot, it is also really plush. Plus, around the forefoot part of the cushion, there's another cushion setup, which is a boom unit. So boom cushion is actually eTPU or somewhat like Boost. And the first feeling that I got around the forefoot part of the cushion of the All City 9 is it is bouncy and it's quite nice. The cushion setup is really nice on the All City 9. It's not too thick, it's not too thin, you're not too high off the ground, so court feel is just okay. It's not too high off the ground either. And the cushion setup, I think, is a very nice combination of cloud foam plus the boom cushion from Leaning, which is very impressive. And another feature of the All City 9 is this plate, which they call Pro Bar. It looks like an Eclipse plate, to be honest. It is hollowed up like the Eclipse plate, so it lessens a little bit of weight on the midsole of the sneaker, making the All City 9 lighter. So that's a nice touch on the Pro Bar system of the All City 9. And it's written here, Pro Bar LOC provides superior midfoot protection, stability, and support during each step, reducing fatigue to help maintain a high level of athletic performance. So it also acts as a stability plate and gives you a very nice recoil for the sneaker. And if that's not enough, there's another stability plate that is located above the outsole of the sneaker, where you can see here. This plate is also for stability and recoil, which is nice. And if you're bending the sneaker, there's a spring back to it, which is quite nice on the All City 9. Now let's move on to the outsole of the All City 9. It features like a bike chain pattern outsole. That's how I look at it. And for the rubber material of the outsole, it's quite hard. The patterns are very thick. As for the rubber compound on the outer part of the outsole, it's much more rigid or harder, so that durability will be longer for the outsole of the sneaker. So in my opinion, outdoor use for the All City 9 is okay. As for the grippiness of the traction of the All City 9, I was trying it here in my wooden floor in the room, and I would say I'm impressed. It was really gripping hard on my floor here, and it also has a very loud squeak. So personally, I like a loud squeak on the outsole of the sneaker. So I would say I'm pretty excited for the traction of the All City 9. I hope it performs well on court and won't pick up dust that easily. And you can see on the outsole, there's some windows of the cushion. You can press it and it's really soft. And then around the forefoot area, this radial pattern also has a hole where the boom cushion is peaking. So I think the hole gives the boom cushion a little bit more space or allowance to expand. That's why you feel the bounciness of the boom cushion in the forefoot area very nicely on the All City 9. Aesthetically, I really like how the All City 9 looks. There's even the Way of Wade logo that is found on the lateral part of the heel of the sneaker, which is I think a very nice dope design. And as for the sizing of the All City 9, I got the US 10.5. I'm a regular footer, and like all Chinese brands that I buy, I usually check first, or I usually base my sizing on the Euro size. So for the 10.5 for leaning, it is 44, which is usually my Euro size. So I would recommend, if you're buying a Chinese sneaker, go with the Euro size instead of the US size, because some Chinese brand, if you get the same Euro 44, it will be sometimes US 10 or sometimes US 11. So base more on the Euro size for Chinese brand sneakers. So that's it on my impression on the All City 9 from Li-Ning, and of course, also my journey for COVID. I hope I helped you guys out once again. Thank you for watching, and this has been Marches once again. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.